Thanks for calling today's Doretta D. Rose Report. What have I got today? A lot of news. Spending, believe it or not, may not be interested in this, but spending approximately $100 million on two failed U.S. Senate campaigns. Connecticut Current.com reports that Linda McMahon is a key benefactor to the state's Republican Party and serves as a trusted advisor to its chairman. Anyway, the chairman says that she has every reason in the world, if she wanted to go, race again, or she could have just disappeared. But she's done just the opposite. She's been active and helpful, and I know she's dedicated to our party, making a strong comeback in Connecticut someday. Anyway, WWE has advertised Paul Heyman for a rare house show appearance August 25th, Santa Ana Star Center, Rio de Rancho, New Mexico. Hall of Famer Jim Ross, he praised Daniel Bryan's performance on Raw. Did they kick the shit out of him? Man, I hope they'll mistreat him like they do poor little old Rey Mysterio, man, putting him up against giants, and you got to be horrible. Anyway, Jim Ross says, thinking about Daniel Bryan was easily star of Raw, and I think his skills would translate well into any era that I've experienced in the biz. Of course, you probably already heard by now, Brie Bella suffered a wardrobe malfunction. I don't know if you could suffer from a wardrobe malfunction. If my pants were to drop to the floor, other people see me, I wouldn't be suffering. They would. But anyway, you just don't suffer from that. But anyway, it says she suffered a wardrobe malfunction last night on Raw during the Miz segment. And she tweeted about the incident. She says, and she doesn't have to do this, but she says, I apologize for my wardrobe malfunction. I'm embarrassed, and it looks like the humidity made my tape come off. You'll never see that again. I don't know if I agree with that, but, but once you've seen her, one of their exposed nips, you've actually seen all four, I would suspect. Hey, this is kind of interesting. Now, you know how the Ultimate Warrior, you can never figure out exactly what he's talking about, and he goes way around the corner just to say yes. Well, anyway, Ultimate Warrior posted the following message on Twitter in response to Vince McMahon welcoming him back to the to the WWE last week. Of course, it had to do with the game. But anyway, he says, Vince, thank you for your personal welcome back to the WWE Universe. It is noted and appreciated. I didn't know he would have to note it. But anyway, all of the Warriors from parts unknown take pride in being one of the original galaxies of the universe that you created. Not one of my days have passed without a flashback to my time in the business and my relationship with you, which is getting, I don't know, kind of creepy there. But anyway, after 17 years of battling one another, perhaps the stars have finally aligned and destiny is prepared to tell one of the sport's greatest stories, how two industries' most determined, colorful, intense, explosive personalities brought to life a persona that made such an inspiring impression that it still captures the hearts and minds of fans all over the world, even years later. Oh. And he says, I am proud Ultimate Warrior is iconic, immortal spirit in the universe that you created. I know, Vince McMahon, you are proud too. The WWE Universe believes your personal welcome is an invitation of sorts. So consider this my RSVP with one condition. Alright, wisdom takes a seat at the table with us when we meet. We each also leave unburied a slight edge of the hatchet we've carried over the years. That other gutless and heartless, God-fearing men urge us to lay to rest forever. I don't know what he meant by that. Anyway, face it. Neither one of us were ever any good at being bored or boring others. So come prepared to kill one another makes for an interesting backup plan. always believe the Warrior. So take that as you may. He's open, but you know, I don't know. So we'll see what happens there. I would like to be a fly on the wall there. Hey, the UK Sky TV is currently listing WWE's October pay-per-view as Battleground. Previously, the event was known as Over the Limit. WWE hadn't acknowledged any kind of change, but the show takes place Sunday, October 6th from Buffalo, New York. And WWE announced tonight that Rob Van Dam is going to be facing the World Heavyweight Champion Del Rio in a non-title match this week's SmackDown. Should be good. Punk versus Brock Lesnar for SummerSlam pay-per-view was made official last night at Raw from Austin, Texas. Paul Heyman accepted Punk's challenge on behalf of Lesnar. Don't want to burn up his little days available. And WWE announced on Raw last night, next week's show will headline by Daniel Bryan versus Kane and John Cena versus Ryback in a tables match. Next week's Raw takes place, well, let's see, next week's, on Raw on Tuesday night. Takes place at the Laredo Energy Center in Laredo, Texas. Next week's Raw on Tuesday night of this week. All right, if you read it and understood it, heard it and understood it, great. Anyway, after Monday's Raw went off the air in Austin, Texas, Mark Henry wrestled John Cena in a dark match. The match ended when the Shield came out and attacked both guys. Telling you something? Daniel Bryan came out to make the save, and the match was switched to a six-man with Bryan, Cena, and Henry, and the Shield and they defeated the Shield by disqualification. Anyway, Big Show didn't return, which I mentioned all week, the WWE on Monday's Raw, as advertised, a WWE vignette on last week's episode of Raw, and used his return as a potential point for last night's Raw. I don't know what the deal was, but I think I got some more news on down here. Noted before, Old Karma said she's preparing for a fun return to TV. She tweeted up a follow-up on Monday. She says, so excited about getting new gear. Gotta look fierce for my return to TV. Seems like it's been a lifetime. I wonder if she's coming back. Didn't she, when her last fight with the Bellas? I was thinking that was her last deal. Anyway, as noted, Steve Austin will have Scott Hall on his podcast. Austin Hall recorded the show yesterday. Austin tweeted, said, just had a hell of a talk with Scott Hall. The bad guy is in a good place. Checking on Thursday on the Steve Austin Show, Podcast 1, and iTunes, I guess. I haven't done any of that podcast thing. Michelle McCool was backstage last night from Raw visiting friends in Austin, Texas. No word yet whether the Under guy was there. Former WWE champion, Tough Enough champion. Remember Andy Levine noted on Twitter that he recently won the first two levels of a strongman competition in New Hampshire, qualifying for the national championships in October. Levine must now find a sponsor to make the trip. Him in a strongman thing, he must have been going up against people 65 and older. I don't know. Anyway, WWE diva Tamina Snuka, she was backstage at last night's Raw from Texas, indicating that she's finished filming Hercules with The Rock. Wade Barrett's mouth was busted open last night against Rob Van Dam. It's likely it was an arrogant kick. Now, you know, he's got padding on his shins down here. That's also to protect Rob. But whenever you get hit, it's like getting hit with a Nerf bat in the face. I mean, it's nice and soft and everything, but you get fast enough, push your teeth around. There were fans last night at Raw complaining about how many of the top stars were advertised that never came out. Triple H was advertised locally but only appeared in a backstage segment. Wyatt family didn't appear live, and Orton did not appear. As noted before, Big Show was also advertised, but he didn't appear. So they lied to us. Nothing new there, huh? WWE is going to be taping the July 29th episode of Raw from Laredo, Texas, confirmed for tonight's show. Ryback versus CENA table match, and I'm telling you, Kane and Bryant. All right, WWE Nikki Bella, she's still suffering from a shin injury, and of course her other sister is suffering from a wardrobe malfunction. Anyway, she came out to the ring on crutches last night at Raw for a Total Diva segment. WWE taped the following matches in Austin for Superstars. Layla taking on Alicia Fox, Usos taking on three-man band. And the reason Big Show wasn't at Raw last night, Raw may have, he may be because of his knee injury. Show's still limping around as recently as Money in the Bank pay-per-views, and officials wanted to back early so they could do a shoot angle for SummerSlam. So just have to wait. WWE officials were furious over Brie Bella's nip slip last night on Raw. The apology that she tweeted out was ordered by management, by the way. WWE's champion CENA and Henry. You hear that? CENA and Mark Henry versus The Shield is being advertised for the post-SummerSlam live event, Ontario, California, on Sunday, August 25th. So that's telling you a little something. It's funny how just people hate each other and then they get together and they're all happy. Alright, let's change the channel for just a second. TNA President Dixie Carter and others of the management of TNA, the CFO and the COO, Dean Broadhead, and Andy Barton and Jeff Jarrett addressed the locker room, reports ProWrestling.net. Carter noted that everyone is under evaluation and wouldn't rule out additional cuts. Added that the changes are being made for long-term health of the promotion. Despite not being seen at TNA for quite a while, Jeff Jarrett is maintained and involved in the company and continues to work out of his Nashville office. And at one point, Jarrett was in charge of the gut check. Carter noted that some of the restructuring was done due to the fact that the company spent a lot of money taping the One Night Stand pay-per-views events back in March. The company rushed the tapings because they wanted to complete all of them before the release ran out at the Universal Studios down in Florida. And the overtone of the message was considered upbeat. However, despite the positive vibe, there's still talent scrambling and seeking work elsewhere. I hate to hear that. I like TNA. Just wish I could get in there and help them somehow. Thanks for clicking, you guys. Well, I like to get paid, though. I gotta go.